The man waiting in my office lobby knew the name of my childhood dog, the scar on my left knee, and details about photos I had taken in my bedroom mirror. He also thought we had been dating for 8 months. I had never seen him before. His name was Daniel. He was holding a small bunch of flowers and a folder thick with printed messages. When I walked toward him, his face changed. At first, he looked relieved. Then he looked confused. He called me Nora. My name is not Nora. Before that morning, my days were ordinary. I worked at a small design company and spent most weekends with my best friend, Maya. Maya and I had been close for 11 years. She had a key to my apartment. She knew my family, my routines, and my embarrassing stories. When her last relationship ended, she stayed on my couch for nearly a month. I helped her find a new place and sat beside her through the worst nights. The first strange message came about 3 months later. A man I did not know sent me a request on social media. His message said, "I hope the interview went well, Nora." I deleted it. My account was private and random messages were common. A week later, another account sent me a photo of a blue dress from an online store. The message said, "This is the one you liked, right?" I blocked that account too. I mentioned both messages to Maya over lunch. She laughed and said fake accounts were copying people everywhere. She told me to change my password, so I did. But changing my password could not fix what was happening because nobody had entered my account. Someone had built a different one. Daniel explained this while my office manager stood a few feet away. He was not yelling. His hands were shaking, and that made the whole scene more disturbing. He opened the folder and showed me screenshots from an account named Nora Bennett. The profile photo was mine. So were nearly all the other photos. There were pictures from holidays and weekends at home. Some had only been sent in group chats. Under each photo was a caption about a life I had never lived. According to the account, Nora worked in marketing, loved hiking, and planned to open a bakery. None of that belonged to me. Then Daniel showed me the messages. Nora knew my coffee order. She knew about the scar on my knee. She knew the nickname my family used for my childhood dog. She even described the old radiator in my bedroom that clicked at night. Those details reduced the list of possible people to only a few. The next photo reduced it to one. It showed me with a new haircut beside a yellow floor lamp. I had taken it in Maya's apartment and sent it only to her. She had asked me to stand closer to the window before taking a second picture. That second picture was on Nora's profile, too. I asked Daniel how he had found me. He said they had met in a book discussion group. They messaged every day. Nora always avoided video calls because her camera was broken, then because she felt anxious, then because work had become difficult. She sent voice notes instead. Daniel said her voice sounded exactly like the one he had heard for months. That meant Maya had not only supplied the photos, she had been the person speaking to him. Daniel had sent her money as well. It started with a small amount for a car repair. Later, she asked for help with a rental deposit. In total, he had sent $4,800. They had arranged to meet twice. The first time, Nora said she had food poisoning. The second time, she said her mother had been injured and needed her. 2 days before he came to my office, the account asked for another $1,200. When he asked for a video call first, every message disappeared. He used an image search and found a staff photo of me on my company's website. That gave him my workplace. I was frightened of him, but he had been pulled into the same mess. He had spent 8 months building a relationship. I had lost control of my identity without knowing it, and the missing account was only the first layer. I called Maya from a meeting room. She did not answer. I sent one message asking her to call me immediately. She read it and stayed silent. Daniel forwarded the screenshots and payment records to me. One transfer showed the recipient as M. Carter, Maya's initial and last name. Nora had described Maya as a cousin who handled payments. Each explanation had arrived slowly enough to seem possible. My manager contacted building security and gave Daniel a private room to wait in. Then I called the police. An officer took our statements separately. I reported the transfers, the photos, and the use of my personal information. I also locked down every account I had. That evening, Maya came to my apartment. She looked tired and irritated, as if I had created an inconvenience for her. She asked why I had involved the police before speaking to her. I placed the screenshot of Nora's profile on the kitchen table. Maya stared at it for several seconds. Then she sat down. She said it started as a way to talk to strangers after her breakup. People ignored profiles using her photos. When she used mine, she received attention within minutes. She said she only wanted conversation. Then one person sent a gift. Another offered money. Daniel became attached, and she kept extending the story. I asked why she used private details about me. She said it made the account easier to maintain. Instead of inventing everything, she copied pieces of my routine, my family, and my home. That answer hurt more than any excuse about money. For months, she had listened to me speak and quietly collected material. Then I remembered all the small photo requests. Maya asking me to pose with a coffee cup. Maya taking pictures while we cooked. Maya sending me old photos and asking which one I liked best. They had not been casual memories. She had been creating content for Nora. Maya kept saying she planned to repay Daniel. I asked whether there were other men. She looked at the floor. That silence answered the question before the investigation did. Over the next several weeks, the police connected Maya to 2 profiles and 4 men. Daniel had sent the largest amount, but he was not the only one. Together, the transfers were more than $11,000. One man had mailed a package to an old address of mine. Another had received a fake employment document with my company's logo. Maya had even used a photo of my mother while asking for emergency money. My face was only the entrance. She had built the rest from pieces of my private world. I felt angry, but anger was not the hardest part. The hardest part was feeling watched in memories that had already happened. I searched old conversations and questioned every picture she had taken. I stopped posting online. I asked my company to remove my staff photo. For several weeks, I checked the parking lot before leaving work. Daniel sent me a short apology for arriving without warning. I told him his visit had scared me, but I understood why he came. We shared information through the investigator after that and had little direct contact. Maya was charged with offenses connected to fraud and identity misuse. Months later, she entered a guilty plea. The court ordered restitution, placed her under supervision, and restricted her access to certain financial accounts. The legal outcome mattered, but it did not repair the friendship. There was no conversation that could return us to what we had been. Maya's mother later brought me a box containing clothes and books I had left at Maya's apartment. Inside was a long letter. Maya wrote that she had resented how easily people noticed me. She said using my photos had made her feel wanted at first, then trapped. She admitted that every new lie required another one, until the person online had taken over most of her day. She ended by saying she was sorry. I did not reply. I changed my phone number, removed hundreds of old posts, and moved to another apartment when my lease ended. I also started speaking with a counselor because I could no longer separate ordinary caution from constant fear. Slowly, the fear became manageable. I posted a photo again. I went out without checking every face behind me. I stopped treating my reflection like something another person owned. About a year later, Daniel sent one final email. He had received the first restitution payment. He said he was doing better and wanted no further contact with anyone involved. I understood. I wanted the same thing. Maya stole my face for almost a year, but in the end, she lost the one place she could never copy: her place in my life.